Greetings, Masandawana. We are back with another installment of the Yellow Corner as we bring you our biggest game of the season, a cup final, as we take on Ezimyamas Gama Gepul at Moses Mabida on Saturday at 1800 hours. Raps, how are you? No, I'm good, man. I'm good. We haven't done this in a very long time, eh?
Yeah, and I think it is our first this season, so hopefully, yeah, it will be nice, man.
Hope so as well, man. Before we get into the preview of the final, man, I think it's important that we congratulate the team on the record that they set last week when we broke the longest unbeaten run in the PSL. We now 32 games unbeaten, man. It's huge. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's huge. It's a record that I don't think any team is gonna break except for Mamelodi Sundowns. And on top of that, over the weekend we saw the boys and the team qualifying for the group stages of the CAF Champions League once again, man. It's another great feat. I think it's I saw Mazola tweet where it's 9 years in a row that we've qualified for the group stages of the CAF Champions League. And it's easy for certain people to say Champions League is easy when they are outside, but once they're inside, they feel it's tough. It really is tough. Thoughts on those two things that we achieved last weekend over the weekend?
Yeah, and I think they are a great milestone, especially that one of not losing in 32 games. So I think it needs consistency. It needs a lot of elements into the team in order to break that record. And the last time a team had that record, it was Kaizer Chiefs, I think in 2005. So it tells you that it's not easy. So I think Sundowns, the players and the technical team, they've done very well. And congratulations to the team for also progressing to the group stages of the CAF Champions League. Hopefully this time we'll go as far as maybe reaching the finals, because of the last time we went to the final, I think it was 2017. So I think in 9 years that we have been able to play in the CAF Champions League consecutively, I think this season we should at least go to the final, man.
Hopefully the football gods are listening and they answer our prayers. Perhaps let's get into this preview, man. It's funny that I'm going to start this preview not talking about players or preparations, but I'm going to be talking about the man who will be in the middle of it all, the match referee, man. A lot has been said about Sundowns. We now called Benefits FC. A lot has been said on social media, on TV, on radios, print media, everywhere about Sundowns and the refereeing decision going for them. Going into this final, how much pressure will whoever officiates game be as a referee?
I think whoever is going to be the match official on that day, I think they are under a lot of pressure. Like, take away the final on its own. I think with what happened previously and the league being able to suspend Lutolo Badi, so I think whoever is going to officiate that game, he will be very under pressure. And with that pressure, I think there will be also mistakes in that game, because of once as a match official you go into the game with that pressure hanging over your shoulders, I think you tend to make a silly mistake. So I think hopefully the game will be neutral and no one will feel like they are being robbed. So because of we want fans, spectators to experience a great final.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I know. You really hope the match official doesn't take center stage and come Sunday or after the game. That's the only thing we're talking about on social media. And I think these two teams are good enough to give us a spectacle. Like Chiefs, Sundowns, and Pirates play good football, man. And I think if I feel for the referee, to be honest, because he is gonna be under so much pressure, so much pressure. So I really hope there are no incidents that happen that will be talking about the same way as the last weekend when Liverpool played Spurs. Spurs won, but the only thing that people were and are still talking about how the officiating was, So you hope or we get a great game from both sides, and as well as the match officials. Staying with pressure, let's talk about Pirates, man. They've not been doing well in recent weeks. How much pressure are they going into this game? Because when you look at their last 5 games, they won Stellis away in the MTN8 first leg semi-final. They won 1-2, and then they lost to Jwaneng away 1-0 in the CAF Champions League. They came back to South Africa after they rested their players against Jwaneng. They faced Sundowns. They lost 0-1 as well. A few days after, they faced Stellis in the second leg of the semi-final. They lost 0-1 but progressed aggregate score. And then in the last match against Jwaneng, they won the match 1-0, but they lost the tie 4-5 on penalties. How much pressure are they? Because I think they are under serious pressure. I think the expectations are how they did last season and how they started this season. Everyone, including me, I thought the Pirates will be, up there, fighting us at all fronts, but they are already out of the Champions League. The supporters have already given up on the league. So you're thinking we are less than 10 games into the league. The first cup competition, one of the cup competitions that you're already out, and you've not been doing well, but you're going to a final with one of the best teams in the continent. So I think they are under massive pressure, and the pressure that they are under might be their downfall cup final. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think they are under pressure. This is the cup that they want to defend, and also not having winning in a while. So I think it adds another pressure into the team. So they go into the fixture with a lot of pressure, and the game before you play the final is the game that you want to win, so that when you go to the final, you go to the final with a confidence. But because of they lost, I think they are under pressure, and the expectation, this is a game that Orlando Pirates fans expect the team to win. So I think it will be tough for their coach and for the players, and you are facing a team that defeated you in the league, so they are under a lot of pressure as well.
Yeah, the last on this subject of pressure, it's only fair that we touch on Sundowns, and you look at how the form Pirates, and how much pressure are we under Sundowns to win this game, just because of expectations? Pirates is not doing well. People expect Sundowns to win this game. Does that put us under severe pressure?
Definitely, because I think we go into this game as the favorites, and we are expected to win because of the results that were positive results that we managed to get in our previous game. So I think it also adds a lot of pressure into the team, and also playing a cup final on its own. It's a pressure on its own, and you're expected to win because of there's no second leg, there's no first leg, just a one fixture you must win at all costs. So I think Sundowns also, they are under a lot of pressure, but they go into this game with a confidence that is higher than Orlando Pirates camp.
True. I think we are also under pressure. I think if Pirates wins this final, there will be questions that will be asked. I mean, these guys have not been playing well. They've been poor. They've been struggling with goals. You guys have been doing well, breaking records, getting into the group stages of the Champions League, running away with the league championship. So you're on form, So we are under pressure, but like you said, it's key when you win the last game going into final, the mood in camp. So it gives us confidence going into this game. Because of pressure and the results, the Pirates recently Kimangato set the schemes of Pirates for final.
I think, man, Stingley will definitely hand over a small paper to Jose of about 11 players who should start that game. I think, man, they are under a lot of pressure, man. And because of, if last season they didn't do that good, I think the pressure would have been much lower. But because of last season they were so good, they came second. The expectation adds a lot of pressure into the team. So I mean, it will be tough for Jose to even come up with the starting lineup that will stop Mamelodi Sundowns.
Hey, yeah, no, we've had some funny things that happen in that team when they reach the finals. We've heard that certain members of the team would hand the coach a list of players. This is the 5 or 6 that we start. You can add your yeah. We've had such things, happen in that club, man. Raps, do we have a psychological edge over Pirates? Because I spoke when we did preview the first leg, the semi-final, Maestro. I asked him, well, does Kaizer Chiefs fear us? And it's clear that they feared us. But do we have a psychological edge over Pirates? I think we do, man. I think these guys, they do not believe they can beat Sundowns. I think you look at the recent form head to head, I mean, they've only recently beaten us once, funny enough, MTN8, but in the semi-final last season. But you look at how they approached the game, the league game, how they started. It's like maybe Pirates doesn't fear us like Chiefs, but they respect Sundowns way too much. Maybe your thoughts?
Yeah, but I think the psychological part plays a huge role in this type of games, and also Pirates being a team that struggles to beat Mamelodi Sundowns in the history on its own. So I think it adds another pressure to the team. But one thing about the cup final, as much as Sundowns go into this game as the favorites and mentally maybe they are in a good space, but final sometimes being on the final motivates the other teams. Pirates might look at as if maybe because we have been doing well, this is our chance to redeem ourselves and maybe win the game. And once they win the MTN tournament, the fans will start cheering them up and being behind the team and supporting the team. Because of at this moment, Orlando Pirates fans are not sure, like they are skeptical of their team, and some don't even believe that they'll manage to overcome Mamelodi Sundowns. But if they win this game, I think it might be a turning point where we see a different Orlando Pirates and they bounce back and maybe in the league do well.
True, man. We unfortunately weren't able to watch our second leg, the second preliminary round against Bumamuro Nalwena. But let's go back to our last game before that, when we played Stellis in the league last week. Which player or players from that game raised their hand and you thought and said, you know what, I want to play be in the starting lineup final for it?
I think one would be Mtobi. I think
no. Let's not talk about regulars. The guys that have not been regular. Yeah,
I think it will be Oprundib. I think he did very well in that game. Like except scoring that free kick, but overall his performance was good in terms of his movement around the pitch and what he offered when he had the ball. So I think he did very well, and this is a position that he's not familiar with, because of most of the time he plays on the left. Maybe sometimes he inverts, but this was a different position because of was almost playing with Zungu, but not far ahead of him. So I think he did very well. And one thing about Aubry, that he can adjust to different positions.
Absolutely.
So it shows the players intelligent in terms of adapting to different positions in the field.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I think Obza was exceptional, man. I think Obza was brilliant. And in the post-match press conference at Game Bumamo, Coach Hulani said if there's one player that he feels he's not been fair towards mostly this season. It's Aubrey, you know, and for Aubrey to perform so well and at times find himself on the bench, but when he comes back, he plays as if he's been playing. I think he's one player that you look at the injuries that we have, especially more midfielding, the 18. If push comes to shove and guys don't make the regulars don't make it by Friday, he's the one player that you think, you know, Obza might start, you know. And yeah, I think he was brilliant. And as you said, his game intelligence, man, adaptability to each and every position is second to none. It's actually exceptional, man. Perhaps let's go back to the game that we played the Pirates in Muliking, the first a few weeks ago. Were you surprised how they approach that game? Because I was more so like in the first half, they were so reserved in a way, you know. They can't be second guess whether to press or to sit and play on the counter. Like, I thought they would come to this game with so much vigor, with so much grajo, you know what? Because they knew the importance, 3 points going into that game. They knew for them to stay in this race, they need to win. It was a must win for them. Yet they started the game like they were the away team, you know, and Sundowns took the game to them, whereas I expected Pirates to take the game to Sundowns. Were you shocked?
I think Orlando Pirates played with too much caution. I think they just wanted to stay in the game as far as possible, and that eliminates their danger in terms of going forward, because they were too cautious and they didn't want to take risk. And these are games that if you want to win them, you have to do something different in terms of taking the risk. And one would say they missed ground, but they still have the good squad on the bench that they can find another replacement for Ndlondlo. But they gave too much respect to Mamelodi Sundowns, and thinking that they were the home team, you expected them to take the game to Mamelodi Sundowns, to put pressure in Mamelodi Sundowns, but it was other way around.
Yeah, no, true, man, true. Still on that game, was there any point during that match where you were nervous? Okay, they might get an equalizer? Because for now, I wasn't. There was no moment during that game where I was like, hey, maybe that chance that they got, the one where they broke Kahoto on the left, and then AB stopped the ball, his back heel. That was the one chance where I thought, okay, yeah, this is maybe a clear chance. But apart from that, for now they did nothing. Yes, I hear people talking about how well they played in the second half. They had to, because you 1-0 down, so, and you need to attack more, you know. So, but with that said, as much as they attacked more, they never threatened us. They only got behind us once. They had 10 touches in our second half. Ronwen, the only save, which I only remembered because I watched back the game before we did the preview, was that team header from a corner. Apart from that, there's nothing that Ronwen did. They can say, but also China didn't do much. He didn't do much, but Sundowns were already did the most important thing in that game, that scored a goal, which is something that Pirates failed to do. So whenever you at any moment like worried they are coming on, will concede?
I think I was not worried when Hoto came on, but I knew what he was going to give Orlando Pirates in terms of giving them width and bringing in those crosses. And with Hoto, once he brings those crosses, now they have to rely on Lepasa's movement inside the box to position himself better. And I think Hoto, when he came on, he did quite well in terms of ensuring that he creates an angle for himself to deliver the crosses. That's the only thing that I was worried about, with us having to defend crosses that came from Hoto. But other than that, I didn't see them bouncing back and trying to win the game. I think once we went to the interval, I knew that Orlando Pirates were not gonna come back.
Yeah, you touched on Pasa. The goal seems to have dried off for Lepasa. He seems to have gone off the boil now. He's had 0 goals in the last 4 games, whereas Shalule has just come back from injury, and in the last 2 games he has got 3 goals contribution. Will that be where the final is won and lost?
I don't think so, because of you don't have to rely on your forwards to get the goals. I think you can get goals from everyone around the field, but that means that you have to create moments for that to make sure that you create those goal scoring opportunities. And I think one thing that Lepasa in his games lack, I think he doesn't create space for himself to thrive. He relies on those around him. You look at the likes of maybe Shalulile or Ribeiro. They drift wide, they get those chances, but with Lepasa, I think he relies on the players around him. As much as he's a striker, we expect that, so that other players feed him the ball, but you have to give the team something, great spaces for others to score, because it's not only about yourself scoring those goals. If your teammate scores, then the team gets the goal. So I think in that, I think Lepasa needs to do better in terms of creating space for others.
I think that's where the game will be won, honestly. I think Lepasa goes into this game with the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's going to be under so much pressure, and maybe if he gets an early chance and doesn't take it, it becomes worse, Whereas Shalule is catching his form, and he's going to go into this one relaxed, more calm than Lepasa, and they are the main, they are the focal points of attack for each team, and I think Shalule will go into this one confident, and a confident Shalule is a very dangerous Shalule. Looking at either sides, who can win the game for these guys? Because I think now Ndlondo is crucial to Pirates winning this final. I think he's integral to everything good that Pirates does, because he's the link, Ndlondo, between the defense, the midfield, and the forward line. Yes, he's the deepest of the central midfielders, but like we said in the first preview, he gets to the third and the opponents, third half the opponents, and Halimol, he's also dangerous in terms of finding a pass, in terms of getting a goal here and there. So I think for Pirates to win this game, Ndlondo needs to be on top form. And then for Sundowns, I think Shika is going to be very important in this match. We saw the first leg. First half, he was dancing. He was dancing, and a dancing Shika means when Shika plays that piano, everyone dances around him. So he will be the one who will be crucial in terms of making space and creating chances for Sundown. I mean, you saw that second leg semi-final against Chiefs. He was poor. He was poor. He was losing the balls. There's something there's a ball in the first half. I can't remember what happened, but I think it went out ball on it, and you could tell he had his hands to his waist. You could tell he's thinking, as so I think if Shika has his dancing shoes on Saturday, we win this final winner.
Yeah, and I think with Pirates, I have to agree with you in terms of Ndlondo being an important player in that Pirates 11, because of he drops deep to collect the ball, he progresses with the ball to the upper faces of the field, and also his intelligence to slow down the pace and to make the team play. Sometimes when you go into such games, you want your team to play, you want players to have touches and rotate the ball, so that the more touches you make, the more you start feeling confident into the game. And also Ndlondo, his ability to play those diagonal balls behind the fullbacks of Mamelodi now. So I think Ndlondlo in this game, I think, is one of the most important players in the Pirates team. With Sundowns, I think if Ribeiro starts, I think I will have to go with him because of in our attack, when you attack, he looks like he's that guy who has to play the final pass. You look at the penalty that we won against Orlando Pirates and the goal that he created previously on the league. Most of the time, he's the guy that makes the final pass. So I think in this game, he has to find the space for him in order to get to the dangerous parts of the field to be able to play that part that might lead to us getting a goal.
Yeah, no. Hopefully, that injury is not too serious. But Coach Hulani was asked in the press conference after the game at Bumamuro, and he said he doesn't think it's too serious, yeah, perhaps Pirates last game now, surprisingly, Saling didn't start. He didn't get any minutes when they needed to win, when they needed a goal. Do you think he's injured? Because I have a feeling I could be very wrong. I could be very, very wrong. But I think Saling might be injured. It doesn't make sense to me, your best player last season in your most important game of the season gets 0 minutes, especially when you need a goal.
It's a must win.
It's a must win, and he doesn't get any minutes. And I think I could be on into something. Pirates could be playing mind games. I'll tell you what I heard a few years ago. I can't remember which Champions League final, UEFA Champions League final, I was about to watch. A player, an analyst who was a former player, I can't remember who. He said something. The day before the final, you're allowed to train at the stadium. But say Liverpool. I hate how I always reference Liverpool, but it's the team I support. And Liverpool plays Man United in a final in Italy. The final is on Saturday, and they fly out Friday midday. The morning session, they will train at their base. The system and formation and the 11 that they will start. And then when they get to Italy, more just to fill the pitch, they will take the shots and things like that, passes, nothing hectic. Even players who are definitely not going to be in the squad, who are injured, they take part because the cameras are there. So they want the opponents, Habasheva, Babone, Rapelang is there, Tabiso is there, so they might be starting. So even if they're not gonna play, the club knows very well they're not gonna play, but they will be there, fully kitted, taking part in a training session. So maybe Pirates is playing that type of mind game, because does it make sense to you that they didn't play Saling in that match when they needed a goal so much?
I think it doesn't make sense because of, as much as Salim this season he hasn't been playing very well, but he's still your best player, and you are playing one of the most important game in your season, and you have to field your best player. So I think it doesn't make sense, and I don't know what's the reason behind that. But if he's trying to play mind games with Sundowns, look what happened. It costed him the spot on the CAF Champions League. So I think if he took that risk, I think for him it didn't pay off, and it costed him the spot on the group stages of the CAF Champions League.
Yeah, like I said, I could be wrong. It could have been a technical decision, but yeah, I think when we plan, our plan involves every player at Pirates. Let's talk about what to expect from this game, and maybe what Pirates needs to do to win this game. And I think for now, I expect a very nervy start from a very nervy team because of what has happened in the last few weeks. They are deep in form, as well as they are lost to us, and the club that they are facing, the club that they seemingly respect way too much, I think, But again, for them to need to win this match, they need to be they need to take risks.
Yeah.
They need to press Sundowns. They need to press Sundowns into making mistakes, and then when Sundowns makes those mistakes, they capitalize on them. So their approach needs to be different to how they started the Premier League, especially in the first half. And I think they need to go back to what they were doing at the start of the season. Attack Your Pirates at the beginning of the season was lopsided, and I said this on the preview. Where they are very strong on the right.
Yeah.
They are very strong. They have numerical and qualitative superiority with the fullback who bombs forward. There's Salem as well as Maswangai, who plays between the zone 14 and 15 areas. He's a 10, but he's mostly lopsided. He's more to the right than left. In the game that we played against them, the heat map shows he spent a lot of the time on the left, and they use the left more to attack Sundowns, and they got nothing.
Yeah.
You know, they got nothing. So I think they might have to go back to what they were doing so well, because even their patterns of play, they were mostly camo writing. You know, that's where they were strong. I said this the preview, the first the league game, they must not be emotional.
Yeah.
They must, and they became emotional. Monare Ali, he uses so much more energy. Ali here Pepereza than Agala Bolo, because he gets so emotional. And when I think back, even when he was at Vets, every time he played Sundowns. I don't know.
Every big game.
I don't know, man. So they need to not be emotional. They need to control their emotions in this match. Your thoughts?
I think the first 10 minutes of the game will be very important to Orlando Pirates. First of all, they have to settle well into the game. Do not make errors in that first 10 minutes where Sundowns will want to exploit from those mistakes. And Orlando Pirates in this game, they have to focus on the game on its own. Leave the refs' mistakes to the captain, because if you're focusing on the game and there's another focus on the match officials, it affects your approach and your game, because you are not focusing on the most important thing on the fixture, which is the game and winning the game. So I think they need to ensure that their focus is on the game. And the player like Chain, I think he needs to play a key role in this game, because they're a team that wants to build up, but they are not there in terms of the level of Mamelodi Sundowns. So China and his center backs, I think they have to be extra vigilant. And one thing about China is that when the ball gets played behind the defense Orlando Pirates, he doesn't come out and try to clear the ball. That means he's not able to read the situations and the game like other goalkeepers such as Ronan and what he did to Lepas. One would say yes, it is a foul, but it shows that he's active in terms of reading the situations around the pitch. And last preview when he played Orlando Pirates, I spoke about their centre backs in terms of they have to keep the same line. Look at the penalty that we won. Mbule dispossesses, I think, Maswangai,
yeah.
and the ball goes to Ribeiro. He pushes forward, and once he pushes forward, Oki comes straight to him. That means if Oki comes to Ribeiro, that means he's no longer on the same line with CBC, and the ball was played on that position here, Oki, where he was unavailable, and Baloni was forced to cover a space for Oki, and it resulted to a penalty. And I believe if Oki stood and kept the same line with CBC, it was going to be very difficult for Sundowns to find a better goal scoring opportunity in that moment. So I think they have to keep the same line. And in countless matches, they missed him on that game. I think we spoke about the role that he plays into the team. But another thing is that Ndlondlo might be a target from the opponent. As much as he's good, the opponents might target him because sometimes he wants to do something that are extraordinary in terms of trying to turn where it's not necessary to turn. So I think Sundowns might target him in this game. And a player like Masangwani, this is a big game. Like, this is a game where fans don't care about what you did in the past 5 games. They care about today's game. So I think Masangai, he needs to be more disciplined on the ball.
He
needs to be more disciplined on the ball because of, you look at the goal that we scored, he was dispossessed and he was in a position where you need him to be, because of, you need him to be closer to the pass. But if he's more closer to your midfield too, that means he's far from where he should be. So I think he needs to be a creative. And Salim, I've realized one thing about Salim is that when he's not in the game, he doesn't try to find space for him so that he steps up and he tries to offer something to the team. If you can see, I'm on the left and things are not going my way, try to do something different. Try to get closer to Mnare, have those touches, maybe collect a ball slightly deeper and move with the ball to the...
Yeah, I get what you're saying, which is a great point. Sorry to Hokatane. You know, you're basically saying when he's not getting the ball, he's not doing... Go deep, wait it, that touch, and then you start getting into the groove, and maybe you start attracting attention, and the person who's marking you move him out of possession.
So, and even if he doesn't get the ball, like, he doesn't try to move around, have touches, and once you move around, also your man mark, he becomes confused whether should I follow you or should I let you just go and have those touches.
Let's talk about, let's go into their lineup. This is how I think they will line up. I think they will have China in goal. If the game goes to penalties, might get substituted. China, and then Shandu at right back. The centre backs will be CBC and Koki, and Baseka on the left. I think they will have the double pivot there, Ndlolo Munare, even though Munare will be closer to the centre backs as a DLP. And someone said most of the time when we talk on the comments, he said Bakupa, when we use the abbreviation, maybe really explain them. So DLP is a deep line playmaker. So Ndlolo is a DLP, deep line playmaker, and they'll have Salem on the right, Maswangai at 10. I think they'll play hard. They'll start hard in this game, and Lepasa up top. Do you think so?
Something tells me you start Monari with team. I don't know, but something tells me
because she has basically.
Yeah, and with how Erasmus played that 10 role against Joanning in Orlando, I think maybe he might start him, because of one thing about Kemet. If you start him, you let him know that I'm going to start you. Maybe play first 60 minutes, then I'll sub you off. Then you tell him, I want you to give your all in that 60 minutes and try to have as much impact as possible. So I think maybe team might start, and maybe I think Kemet might also start.
Okay, let's go into Sundowns Hubs. We've been hit hard by injuries, man, recently. One gets excited when they see Roshin come back and players come back, like, okay, we've passed that, but hey, they seemingly can't go away, Let's maybe focus on players who are most likely to start but are injured, like your regulars, like Bo AB. The team says he's got a groin, stage 3. I don't know how this stages thing work, because Sundowns, they will post the injuries and the players, the injury and the stage they are on. So I think the highest stage is you are. No, I don't think so. I don't think you are more further from making the team. Ne? So AB Barite is on stage 3. They are going rehab. Marcelo quad injury, stage 3 of rehab. Mbule ankle injury, stage 2 of rehab, and then there's Ribeiro, who Coach Ulani said it might not be too serious. It's a worry, man, that we might be missing some of these players, eh?
Yeah, no, it's a worry, and these are players that have been doing well for us, and they've been part of the team when we have been playing so well in the league and in other cups. So I think if they are not available, I think it will cost us to slightly play different, and having to play different, it might affect your game because of you are playing the way you are not used to playing. So I hope that the injuries are not serious, and I hope that all the guys who have been part of the team, they will be fit to play the final against Pirates.
Yeah, and the thing is, former players will always tell you a player is not always 100% like it's rare for a player to be fully fit. I think the technical team will take some risks. I think maybe Mbule got the ankle this week. Maybe they'll put him on ice, yeah, and then maybe a train Thursday and Friday. I'm just speculating. And Marcelo a quad, so maybe Liena they might put him on ice. And the one player I highly doubt they will risk groin injury. It's the groin is one of those injuries that are terrible. Maybe ankle Mbule, maybe say it's swollen. You isolate and then you strap it or the ball. What can we expect from Sundowns? What do we need to do to win this final?
I think for us, in the first 10 minutes of the game, I think Sundowns will target the two center backs of Orlando Pirates and their goalkeeper. They would want them to play uncomfortable and to make mistakes. So I think the first 10 minutes will be very important. And in this game, you don't want to make a lot of fouls because it is a cup final, and you want to play one man behind. So I think we should try to make less fouls as we can, as much as sometimes it's not within our control, but we should try and manage that and have a proper rest defense, because of Sundowns is a team that attacks with a lot of numbers, and Pirates have a lot of speedy players in their offensive position. So that means you have to be well shaped when we have the ball, and also without the ball when Orlando Pirates initiates those attack. And beware of Orlando Pirates press. They might not press as frequently as Sundowns, but once they apply that pressure, it might be dangerous. There was a moment where Baloni pressed River, and it nearly cost us in that game. So I think we need to be extra careful of that, because of this is a cup final. Sometimes it is okay to keep it safe. You don't have to, as much as you are doing well in terms of escaping the pressure and moving forward with the ball, but some moments forces you to play it safe. Maybe play the ball to the channels, or maybe play a diagonal ball in order to escape from the pressure. But our build-up also will be very important in terms of trying to draw the offensive line of Orlando Pirates closer to us, so that they leave the space behind that we can exploit. And with Ndiba, what he's shown against Stelis, I think having him against Orlando Pirates will give us progressive passing patterns, because of he positions himself very well, and his ability to offer a drop of a shoulder to 10. Like sometimes he reminds me of Villa. Like Villa, once he faced his own goals, he's able to turn and get in front of you. So that's what I think Mudiba gave us against Stelis, because even if with that foul there was a player behind him, but he managed to turn and get in a better position where they can foul him. And I spoke about Koki and Sibisi again, being the two center backs but not being able to keep the same line. So in this game we need to target Koki, make sure that he's the one that dismantle that line with him and Sibisi, And one thing about CBC, he's not quite good in terms of playing that offside trap. That sometimes you can see that they are going to play the pass here. What I have to do, step forward and make sure that the player who's likely to receive that ball is offside. But I think he wants to stay on the line, and that might play the other players on. And Orlando Pirates against Steelers, they struggled with the balls that we played behind Mtetwa, Koki, and Chain. And with that speed of Shalulile, we need to catch them off guard. They know that Sundowns like to build up and play the ball around, but sometimes we need to play that javelin behind their defense. And I spoke about China not being able to read the game and come out to play as a sweep. So I think if you play that ball behind the defense, you know that chances of China coming out to clear the ball, it might not happen. So it gives you an advantage. If I get to the ball first, that means it may be a situation of 1v1, and maybe a goal might come from those situations.
Yeah, great points, Raps. From my side, I think when we started the preview, the first thing we spoke about was the pressure at the referee. I would like to see us and not give referee something to make a decision on. You know, like, because I can tell you, if it's 50-50, the decision is 50-50, he's going to lean more on giving it against Sundowns because of what has happened in recent weeks. So stay away from giving him a chance to make a decision on something. This team, Raps, they are like a boxer who's up against the ropes. That's what they are at this moment, and we need to capitalize on that. We need to give them that technical knockout, because they are against the ropes. Their confidence is gone. The morale in camp is not up there. Our morale is up there. Theirs is not into up there. Pirates. Oh, before I go to this point, perhaps I mentioned Tabaya China and that fan base, and they proved me right in that match. They proved me right. Like a game, still is. I was talking to someone of Ivan Pirates, he was at the game. Bonali still is. He's saying, like, China would have the ball, the center back waiting for maybe Reyners to come to him, so that once he comes to him, he plays it to one of the open guys, and then they able to bypass and eliminate that player who's pressed. And he said Pirates fans, they got so agitated every time he did that, because they felt he's slowing the game down, in. Whereas the plan is clear. You don't just then Bolonje because you want to. No, there's a plan behind this, and Pirates fans seemingly don't understand that. So use that again. Like I said, you should use it. That relationship or lack thereof between the fan base and China. Press him hard. The ball, and then we and then Pirates really struggle with aggressive pressing, especially the men on the ball. Like the men on the ball, Pirates, when you press them, he doesn't know what to do. The goals around it, they came from that in recent weeks, in recent times against Pirates. Against Joanning's best chance by that guy one Namibia. It came, I can't remember who they pressed aggressively, but it came from that. So it will be important to press aggressively the player on the ball, and we might get something out of that. You spoke about how Steelers played the ball behind in the second leg, MTN8. First half against Sundowns, they played a very high line, and Shalule, I think, was caught offside twice. There's one where Vulani absolutely lost his mind. He was not supposed to have been caught offside. So I think we can do that again. If they play a higher line, Shandile has to time his runs. He'll be very important, and once he times his runs, he can get behind a defense ball. And I think I would love to see Shika play the way he played. God, that first half, man, Shika was brilliant. If he brings that performance, I think we win this game convincingly. Finally, in the Premier League, our bench didn't affect the game. They came on, our subs, they didn't affect the game. They came on and they were poor, according to me. And that game suited them perfectly because we bought on pace in Tapelo, both Tapelos. The game had stretched because Pirates was attacking and they were leaving gaps. And it suits these guys because now Pirates has more numbers forward and there's space all over the pitch. If we get an early goal and we go back to pace up front, I need these guys to bring something and exploit and trail out the games that Pirates will be living because they are looking for an equalizer. Use your pace effectively. But when you use your pace, think faster than you run, because our players seemingly run faster than they think, more especially the pacey players, So that's what this preview has been going on for a long time. Let's get into the lineups. Are you going first?
I'll go first. I'll definitely start Williams. I would start Mudau, Mvala, and maybe Butrell. You spoke about his groin, but we don't know because of maybe the team will communicate with us. I'll start Butrell. I'll have Gautier and Mukwen in the middle. Then in front of them, I'll have Mudiba and Aland. Then my front three will be Ribeiro, Zwane, and Shalolili.
Okay, that's a good lineup. I think I only have two different players from your lineup. Grant has been playing so well, man.
Roland spoke about sometimes you have to be unfair.
And
that's the set.
That's the set. I hate Tore. I'm not starting Grant because he's been playing so well, man. He fought. He's been doing well. He even scored against Staley. So, that's the set thing. We can only play 11. I'm going with Williams, Mudau, Mvala. I think Dubusa will start. And then I'll have Gautier, Mokwena, Mbule, Alende, Zwane, and Ribeiro. Score prediction?
Shalulile.
Zwane, Ribeiro, and Shalulile up top. Yeah.
I think we'll win 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go with a 1-3 win. I think we'll beat them convincingly in this final. And thank you guys for watching. I think this is a very long preview. I don't know how long it is, but I think it's a very long one. But hey, it's a cup final, man. And we haven't done. You guys have been asking us to do this really too, so we showed this really too, and we hope you enjoyed it, man. And good luck to the boys. Good luck to the boys on Saturday, man. Let's win this one. I predicted cup preseason preview that Pirates will win this MTN8. I'm gonna need you guys to prove me wrong. And win this cup final. I think we win this cup final. It will set the tone for our season, So all the best of luck, and to the injured players, hopefully they make it on time. And please do continue subscribing, guys. Let's chat on the comment section. Let's talk about the final in general, your thoughts and expectations of this final. We're going to a FIFA international break after this cup final, so you'll see us in a fortnight's time. I think the next time you see us kick the last 16, the Cunning Black Label Cup. I think so. I think that's when football. That's what we will be playing when we come back. Until then, sharp Masandawana. I can't say sharp Ndowish now because I'm with you. Sharp guys. Thank you for watching, and continue subscribing. Sure.
Sharp guys. Sharp.